In today's video, I am going to be showing a one-on-one match of David, at the time being 13 years old, playing against a professional player who plays down in Argentina. So, this was actually a very good match, and I was actually very surprised, so I really wanted to break it down. So let's get down, let's check it out, and see what both of these players did well, and how they were able to do it so that you can be better in the one-on-one ISO style game, or just in one-on-one in general. So in this first possession, David has the ball, and we see a little bit of defense. Obviously, they're just testing each other out at this point, and David misses his shot. So this is actually going to be seen later on in the video why you need to make your shots if you're going to be taking shots early on in a one-on-one or ISO game. Next, CJ gets that ball back, and obviously takes a few dribbles, takes a quick step back, and makes that shot. David's hands were down, and that's going to be a good lesson for David going into the future. In this next play, CJ has that ball again. Obviously, he just made a shot, and now he's trying to break down David, changes David's hips, but he did just barely miss that shot. Now, next, David finally goes and attacks the rim. When he attacks that rim, he takes few dribbles, big steps, and he's able to get there in time. Now, there's no dribble limits in this game, but being able to get that angle and learn how to take that angle is very important. Okay, so now this next play, what David does is he's trying to break down CJ just a little bit better, trying to see what he can get away with, where he can move CJ's hips, and then he's able to get that angle to the basket. Now, this is why I really like one-on-one style games, especially if you make a rule where the ball has to go into the post, or you have to attack the basket, because now you can learn different footwork and learn different angles, as we see David doing right here, being able to use his footwork and angles to be able to get himself a layup. Now, David goes back to taking a jump shot. You can see that CJ's hands are down. He's kind of feeling out the situation as to if he should actually guard this jump shot. Now, David missed, but this is why you should always play against more experienced players. CJ right here is breaking down what David just did and explained to him what he should have done instead, and I thank CJ for that. So David missed, CJ gets that ball back. Now CJ takes that ball right to the rim. Obviously, he's down in points, so he needs to be able to get the easy shot. And how CJ was able to do this is he was able to get those hips open. He was able to get David onto his heels as he was right here. And then he was able to attack with one dribble and go up with that floater. Always try to make that contact as well as CJ did. See, the thing with CJ is he's taken a lot of shots. He's a pro basketball player. And being able to play defense as David was with his hand down and giving space, CJ knows exactly how long it takes for his shot to get off and if you're going to block it or not. So why even think that it's going to be even contested? Just pull for the shot. You should know how long it takes for you to shoot. Now, obviously, one-on-one games, defense is not going to be always the greatest, but we can see that you can learn how to attack the top foot, as we see right here, so that you can have the ability to have that half a step advantage on your defender. Now, here, David takes CJ into the post, pivots off, and goes for that hook. That's actually a great move to be able to do in-game as well, depending on what your situation is. Now, remember earlier that I was going to mention about jump shots. Well, this shot was able to be made because David, throughout this one-on-one game, missed quite a few jump shots. And when that happens, a defender is going to keep their hands down to bait you into taking more shots instead of driving to the rim. And that's exactly what happened here. However, David was able to make the shot, but that is a risk that you take if you take too many jump shots. Now, the great thing with playing against pro players is they can really expose your defense and how you play it. So, for example, in this clip, David, when he's trying to stay with CJ, his shoulders no longer are square with CJ. CJ is able to see that literally within a millisecond. He pulls back, does a quick snatch back, pulls for the jump shot. Now, that's another great thing about playing against pros. Hey, David, hand down, man down, just so you know. But anyways, in this next clip, hands up just a bit. CJ tries to push it away and then attacks. Now, while David at this point was looking for that shot, you can't be exposing yourself to an offensive player that you're looking for them to shoot because they're just going to drive. And in this next possession, David was looking for CJ to drive, again, exposing himself, giving up that shot, and CJ was able to make him pay. You never want to be able to expose yourself and show that, oh, I'm expecting you to drive. I'm expecting you to shoot. Because that offensive player, if they're smart enough, are just going to do the exact opposite as to what you are thinking or trying to force them into doing. Going further and further into this game, obviously David was getting a bit tired and CJ wasn't. That's another thing about pro players, is they don't get tired very easily. Now, this is a great drive as well, and David, because of CJ, learned a lot when it came to how to make that push-off work, being able to create contact first. Obviously, I can do it just so much with a pad, but to have somebody who actually plays pro basketball currently, and not somebody like myself who played it like 20 years, 15 years ago, but when you have a player who plays it currently and you can go up and body those pro players, you are learning a lot about how to be able to attack the basket. Now, I really like this sequence. CJ did miss his shot, but I like this sequence, even though it's a lot of dribbling. What CJ was obviously trying to do here was a little bit of teaching David, but also to test out David, to see how fast David is able to keep up with the change of directions, trying to essentially break David. And that is a fantastic thing to be able to do, especially if obviously you're on the defensive side trying to defend somebody who plays professionally, who can handle the ball like CJ. Obviously the shot was missed, but this is a great test. If you can get a very shifty style player to go up against a player who's a lot younger, and so that they can just learn how to stay in front of the ball and give different angles and not switch their hips and things like that. That is a very valuable lesson to be able to teach a younger basketball player. Hey, so the reason you know why I made this video. The reason why I made this video is because I wanted to show why you want to play against older, better players. David in this video was 13 years old. CJ is a pro player who's played pro basketball for many years. And to even have the experience of playing against a pro player or training with a pro player is something that is priceless, because now that pro player like CJ gave David a ton of tips on how to be able to react and play in different situations. For all these players who are trying to reclass just so that they look like they are a basketball god on the basketball court, this is what you should be doing instead. You need to be playing against the toughest competition available and not against easy competition to win gold medals or to put up 40 points a game. This is what you need to do. If you want to get better, train like crazy and play against people who are much better than yourself. I hope that this video has helped you. Make sure to go check out the shooting workout that is down in the description below so you can shoot the ball from further away. And I'll see you guys again in my next video.